Hello, and welcome to the Maine State Inspection Manual, read by Nate Berry. Today we're going to be looking at Section 175 and 180. Feel free to follow along with the video or download the PDF in the description below. Let's begin. Department of Public Safety, Bureau of State Police. Section 175, Class E Inspection Sequence and Reporting Requirements. Summary. This section describes the types and classifications of vehicle emission inspections. The section also describes the sequence of operations and proper test procedures to be performed during the inspection. 1. Requirements to become a Class E station. A. Class E station must have an approved scan tool that is capable of reading monitor status and malfunction indicator light status of the vehicle being inspected. An approved scan tool is one that complies with the Society of Automotive Engineers (SAE) recommended practice J1978 and J1979, or has been approved by the Commissioner of the Maine Department of Environmental Protection. B. Class E station must have a gas cap pressure tester that has also been approved by the Commissioner of the Maine Department of Environmental Protection, so long as statute requires the gas cap pressure test to be conducted. C. All Class A and Class D inspection stations and technicians located in Cumberland County shall also be licensed as a Class E station or technician. D. Any licensed inspection station may become a Class E station. 2. Class E vehicle classifications. A. A Class E inspection is the enhanced inspection of a motor vehicle that is registered or inspected in Cumberland County. B. The age of the vehicle is determined by the year of the chassis. C. Vehicles manufactured before 1974 are not subject to enhanced inspection requirements. These vehicles, if registered or inspected in Cumberland County, shall receive a Class E inspection sticker. D. Gasoline-powered vehicles manufactured during or after 1974 and registered in Cumberland County shall be subject to a gas cap pressure test. These vehicles shall receive a Class E sticker. E. Diesel or gasoline vehicles manufactured on or after 1996 and registered in Cumberland County are subject to the onboard diagnostic test. These vehicles shall receive a Class E sticker. F. Vehicles not registered in Cumberland County may receive a Class E inspection and receive a Class E sticker. Vehicles not registered in Cumberland County must receive a Class E inspection if they are inspected at a station that is located in Cumberland County. 3. Class E inspection sequence and reporting requirements. Note: the vehicle must undergo a full inspection of the proper class and then the following Class E inspection. A. Gas cap pressure test procedure. This test is only required if the vehicle is not equipped with an OBD2 system that also monitors the evaporative system of the engine. If the vehicle is so equipped with an OBD system that monitors the evaporative system of the engine, then skip to number 4. B. The inspecting technician shall follow the manufacturer's instructions when using the gas cap pressure testing device. C. Reject the vehicle if it does not pass the gas cap pressure test. 4. Onboard diagnostic test procedure. The inspecting technician shall conduct a visual and electronic examination of the onboard diagnostic system. A. Test sequence. OBD2 vehicle side connector. 1. Connect an acceptable scan tool to the vehicle's data link connector. 2. Visually examine the instrument panel to determine if the malfunction indicator light illuminates when the ignition key is turned to the key on, engine off position. 3. Start the vehicle's engine, and following the scan tool manufacturer's instructions determine 4. The vehicle's readiness status. 5. whether or not diagnostic trouble codes are present. 6. Malfunction indicator light status, on or off. A. Reject the vehicle if the data link connector is missing, has been tampered with, or is otherwise inoperable. And B. Reject the vehicle if the malfunction indicator light does not illuminate when the key is turned to the key on, engine off position. It is acceptable for the MIL to go out within a few seconds after the key is turned to the key on, engine off position. C. Reject the vehicle if the diagnostic trouble codes are present and the MIL status, as indicated by the scan tool, is on. Do not fail the vehicle if DTCs are present and the MIL status is off. MIL status must be determined with the engine running. D. A vehicle shall be considered not ready for testing if no DTCs are present, the MIL has not commanded to be illuminated, and for 1996 to 2000 vehicles, more than 2 monitors are incomplete, or for 2001 or newer model year vehicles, more than 1 monitor is incomplete. E. All new vehicles with less than 1,000 miles on the odometer are exempt from the readiness status. Some makes of vehicles are also exempt from the readiness status because of manufacturers' problems. A list of exempted vehicles may be obtained from the Maine Department of Environmental Protection. F. The station shall also provide information to the vehicle owner on how to make the vehicle ready for testing. The vehicle shall return after self-correction. An additional inspection fee may be charged for a retest. Note: Maine standards for new aftermarket catalytic converters, AMCC, starting June 1st, 2018. See supplemental info. Class E reporting requirements. Inspection technicians who perform an OBD2 Class E inspection on any vehicle must completely and accurately fill out the OBD2 form provided the Maine Department of Environmental Protection Agency at time of inspection. The form must be returned within 30 days to the Maine Department of Environmental Protection at 17 State House Station, Augusta, Maine, 04333 0017. Department of Public Safety, Bureau of State Police, Section 180. Class B, School Bus Inspection Standards. Summary. This section describes the inspection procedures and standards for Class B school buses. This section also establishes standards for rejecting a Class B vehicle for inspection. All school buses inspected in the state of Maine must have met all applicable federal motor vehicle safety standards, Environmental Protection Agency pollutant requirements, and National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration crash testing requirements at the time of manufacture and continue to do so, unless otherwise authorized by law. General provisions. All school buses must undergo a complete Class D inspection of all parts and accessories necessary for safe operation of the school bus. Any exceptions or exemptions are noted in this section. 2. All school buses must be inspected for additional specific inspection items noted in this section. 3. Reject vehicle does not equal out of service. Out of service criteria is provided in the supplemental information in the rear of this manual. Class B school bus inspection standards. 1. School bus body and exterior. A. Exhaust system. Reject vehicle if the exhaust pipe expels exhaust under the body of the bus. 2. Reject vehicle if the exhaust pipe terminates more than 2 inches beyond the outside perimeter of the body or rear bumper, or terminates inside of the perimeter of the body. 3. Reject vehicle if on a commercially operated school bus, the exhaust pipe terminates other than the rear of the bus. 4. Reject vehicle if on a non-commercially operated school bus, the exhaust pipe terminates other than to the rear or to the left side of the bus. If the exhaust pipe terminates on the left side of the bus, it must terminate no more than 18 inches forward of the front edge of the rear wheel well. 5. Reject vehicle if the exhaust pipe terminates on the right side of the bus. 6. Reject vehicle if on a Type C or D bus, the tailpipe exits underneath the fuel fill or emergency door. B. Hood or rear-mounted engine compartment door. 1. Reject vehicle if the hood or engine cover is missing. 2. Reject vehicle if any latch is broken, missing, seized, not securely mounted, or inoperable. 3. Reject vehicle if any support rod is missing, broken, or bent. 4. Reject vehicle if the hinge mount area of the body is severely corroded. 5. Reject vehicle if any safety cable, if the vehicle was originally so equipped, is broken, missing, or not securely attached. 6. Reject vehicle if any hinge is cracked, missing, broken, or is excessively worn. 7. Reject vehicle if any secondary latch, if applicable, is broken, missing, or inoperable. C. Body. 1. Reject vehicle if torn metal protrudes so as to be hazardous to passengers, pedestrians, or cyclists. 2. Reject vehicle if the molding is loose or protrudes so as to be hazardous to passengers, pedestrians, or cyclists. 3. Reject vehicle if any side panel is perforated, any rivets are missing or loose, or corrosion has resulted in weakening of the panel. 4. Reject vehicle if any fenders are missing. 5. Reject vehicle if any exterior rub rail is missing, damaged, loose, or has rivets missing. 6. Reject vehicle if one rub rail is not approximately at seat cushion height. 7. Reject vehicle if any body to chassis fasteners are damaged, loose, or missing. 8. Reject vehicle if there are any holes in the body of the vehicle that could allow exhaust gases into the passenger compartment. D. Front and rear bumpers. 1. Reject vehicle if any bumper is loose, missing, or broken. 2. Reject vehicle if any torn portion of a bumper protrudes as so to be hazardous to passengers, pedestrians, or cyclists. 3. Reject vehicle if the bumper design is other than a design provided by the original equipment manufacturer. 4. Reject vehicle if any fenders or bumper mounts are loose, missing, or broken. 5. Reject vehicle if there are any holes cut into the bumper or if the bumper has been altered from the original. Example: reject vehicle if the bumper has been altered to provide a step for the exhaust. E. Body colors. 1. Reject vehicle if the body is not painted National School Bus glossy yellow. The hood may be a lusterless black, and the roof may be white. 2. Reject vehicle if the bumpers are not a glossy black unless painting is impractical through the use of rubber, retroreflective material, or other devices. 3. These requirements do not apply to allowable alternative vehicles as defined in Maine applicable statute. F. School bus signs and lettering. 1. Reject vehicle if the school bus sign is not retroreflective material or lighted. 2. Reject vehicle if the school bus sign is not displayed on the front and rear. 3. Reject vehicle if the school bus sign is not black on a yellow background. 4. Reject vehicle if the school bus sign is not as high as practical on a vertical plane. 5. Reject vehicle if the school bus sign lettering is not at least 8 inches high and 1.25 inches in width. 6. Reject vehicle if the lettering on the bus body is not black on a yellow background or white on a black background if a black background is permitted. 7. Reject vehicle if all emergency exits are not labeled on top of the inside and outside of the exits in accordance with the Department of Education rules. 8. Reject vehicle if the emergency door sign is not identified on both the inside and the outside in black or red letters at least 2 inches high. 9. Reject vehicle if there are any graphics or lettering on the exterior of the bus that do not comply with requirements set forth by Title 29-A, MRSA, and Department of Education rules. 10. Numbers 1 through 6 of this subsection do not apply to allowable alternative vehicles, as defined by Title 29-A. G. Mirrors. 1. Interior rear view mirrors. A. Reject vehicle if the rear view mirror is missing. B. Reject vehicle if the rear view mirror is cracked, broken, obscured, or if the mirror surface is peeling, pitting, or covered with any item that prevents complete viewing, i.e. stickers or pictures. C. Reject vehicle if the rear view mirror will not maintain a fixed position when adjusted. 2. Exterior rear view and crossover mirrors. A. Reject vehicle if any mirror required by rule or law is missing. B. Reject vehicle if any mirror is obstructed, does not provide a clear view of the highway to the rear, or does not provide a clear view of the front hood line to the ground, and the bus sides in the front wheel and loading areas. C. Reject vehicle if any mirror mount is not secured, is loose, or protrudes excessively. D. Reject vehicle if the glass or other reflective material is cracked, pitted, or clouded to the extent that clear vision is obscured. E. Reject vehicle if any exterior rearview mirror does not have 50 square inches of mirror glass or reflective material. F. Reject vehicle if any mirror cannot be adjusted or do not maintain a fixed position. H. Auxiliary components. 1. Reject vehicle if all access doors will not open or close, a latch will not hold, or if the hinges are damaged. 2. Reject vehicle if any compartment is not structurally sound. 3. Reject vehicle if any counterbalance cable on baggage doors is frayed. 4. Reject vehicle if any overhead rack or shelf is not securely mounted, the retaining components are missing, broken, or mounted insecurely, or if the energy-absorbing material on the rack or shelf is missing. 2. Stop lamps, arms, and warnings. A. School bus stop and warning lamps. Running lights must pass the Class D inspection standards. Reject vehicle if the vehicle was originally equipped with a backup alarm and the alarm does not function properly. The following requirements only apply to vehicles that are not allowable alternative vehicles. A. Reject vehicle if any school bus stop or warning lamp does not operate or does not alternate or strobe properly. B. Reject vehicle if any stop lamp is not red and any warning lamp is not amber. Roof-mounted strobe lights may be red or white. C. Reject vehicle if the 8-way warning lamps are less than 5 inches in diameter. Reject vehicle if 4-way lights do not activate automatically when opening service door. D. Reject vehicle if the manual activation switch for 8-way warning lamps is inoperable. B. School bus stop arms. 1. Reject vehicle if the stop arm fails to operate per OEM design. 2. Reject vehicle if the stop arm lamps fail to operate per OEM design. 3. Reject vehicle if the stop arm lamps are not red. 4. Reject vehicle if manufactured after September 1992 and not equipped with a stop arm. 5. Reject vehicle if the lamps do not operate per OEM design. 6. Reject vehicle if stop arm does not activate automatically with red lights when opening service door. 7. Numbers 1 through 6 of this requirement do not apply to allowable alternative vehicles as defined by Title 29-A. C. Crossing arms required on all 2021 models and newer. 1. Reject vehicle if crossing arm does not fully extend, fully retract to park position, or if manual override switch fails to operate. 2. Reject vehicle if crossing arm does not activate with reds when opening service door. 3. Reject vehicle if the crossing arm is damaged or bent so as to shorten the extended length to less than 70 inches on 2021 model year and up, and 60 inches for prior model years. 3. Doors, windows, and exits. A. Stepwell, entrance and exit steps. 1. Reject vehicle if the step well is unsafe due to corrosion. 2. Reject vehicle if step well area is cluttered or blocked. 3. Reject vehicle if the step risers are loose. 4. Reject vehicle if the anti-slip material is missing, loose, or is worn smooth. 5. Reject vehicle if the step well area has been modified from OEM design. 6. Reject vehicle if the step well lights do not function. B. Service door and exit door. 1. Reject vehicle if binding is evident, jamming occurs, or the remote control door malfunctions. 2. Reject vehicle if the override device on a power-operated door does not operate or the control is not accessible to the driver. 3. Reject vehicle if the door edge material is other than a flexible type. 4. Reject vehicle if the strip seal along the bottom edge of the door is missing, torn, or does not seal properly. 5. Reject vehicle if there are loose objects, magnets, decals, or pictures in entrance area. Exception: decals that are relevant to pupil transportation or allowable alternative vehicle transportation service. 6. Reject vehicle if glass is missing or broken, fogged or discolored such that the driver's view through any glass door panel is obstructed. 7. Reject vehicle if there is moisture inside the double-paned glass. C. Door, emergency door, or exit. 1. Reject vehicle if the passage is blocked or restricted. 2. Reject vehicle if the aisle is less than 12 inches wide. 3. Reject vehicle if on a wheelchair-equipped bus the aisle is less than 30 inches wide from the wheelchair tie-down position to the lift door and at least one emergency door. 4. Reject vehicle if the release mechanism fails to function from both inside and outside, has an improper latch, or fails to latch securely when closed. Side push-out windows need to only open from the inside. 5. Reject vehicle if the emergency door or exit warning device fails to operate. 6. Reject vehicle if two methods of escape are not present, one of which must be on the left side of the bus or to the rear of the vehicle. 7. Reject vehicle if the head impact protection located across the top of the door header is missing or damaged. 8. Reject vehicle if the roof hatch is missing or inoperable on school buses manufactured after January 1998 or on any other bus equipped with a roof hatch. 9. Reject vehicle if the doors or exits are not as prescribed in the FMVSS based on bus type, year, and capacity. 10. Reject vehicle if the protective padding across inside top of door opening is missing, not securely fastened, or damaged. D. Windows. 1. Reject a vehicle if any emergency side or driver's window cannot be opened or closed readily as designed. 2. Reject vehicle if there is moisture, fogging, or discoloration inside a double-paned glass to the point that the driver's view through glass is obstructed. 3. Reject vehicle if the side windows are comprised of a material other than safety glass AS1, AS2, AS3, AS10, and AS11. 4. Reject vehicle if the side windows are broken, have exposed sharp edges, or if exposed edges are not banded. 5. Reject vehicle if the bus was manufactured after May 30th, 2002, with the side windows are tinted so that less than 28% of the light passes through the glass unless a waiver has been granted by the Maine State Police due to a bona fide medical condition. 6. Reject vehicle if any additional tint is on the windshield. Only the tint from the factory is permissible. 7. Reject vehicle if the bus was manufactured after May 30th, 2002, and the entrance door or driver's side window are tinted so that less than 80% of the light passes through the glass. 8. Reject vehicle if the rear window that goes across the back of the bus is tinted so less than 50% of the light passes through glass. E. Passenger vehicles for the physically disabled. 1. Reject a vehicle if the ramp, if the vehicle is so equipped, is not securely attached, or if the fasteners are missing, broken, have holes in them, or are otherwise inoperable. 2. Reject a vehicle if the power lift, if the vehicle was so equipped, is inoperable or not securely attached. 3. Reject a vehicle if the power controls are not operable or the lift does not respond to the controls. 4. Reject vehicle if the wheelchair hold-downs are not operable, the pins are worn, the cables or belts are broken or frayed, or do not operate per OEM design, or if the floor-installed latch plates, tracks, or tie-downs are loose, badly worn, damaged, or otherwise inoperable. 5. For each wheelchair position, reject the vehicle if the safety lap and shoulder belts are missing, torn, or frayed, or if the buckles are not operable. 6. Reject vehicle if the lift cannot be manually operated. 7. Reject vehicle if any assistive or support equipment is not secured or cannot be secured during transport. 8. Reject vehicle if the lift has been removed and if the door has not either been converted to meet all of the requirements of an emergency exit, or if the exit has not been sealed, with all exit identification removed except inside and outside signage to indicate that This is not an exit, using 2-inch lettering, black on yellow background. Black on white background for allowable alternative vehicles. 9. Reject vehicle if all wheelchair positions are not forward-facing. 10. Reject vehicle if not equipped with transmission interlock as required by FMVSS 403 and 404. 4. Seats and floor. A. Driver's seat and safety belt. 1. Reject vehicle if the driver's seat is loose, the frame of the seat is broken, the springs are exposed or broken, or if the seat cover material is removed. 2. Reject vehicle if the driver's seat adjusting mechanisms do not operate or will not lock into position. 3. Reject vehicle if the originally manufactured driver's safety belt or its equivalent replacement is not present. 4. Reject vehicle if any safety belt has torn or frayed webbing, is not securely mounted, or the buckle is inoperable. 5. Reject vehicle if either the retractors fail to retract or allow the safety belt to extend to its maximum length, or if they are inoperable or damaged. 5. Reject vehicle if either the retractors fail to retract or allow the safety belt to extend to its maximum length, or if they are inoperable or damaged. 6. Reject vehicle if driver's seat has been replaced with a seat other than a seat that is designed for school buses and does not have the appropriate head impact back. 7. Reject vehicle if the seatbelt cutter is not in reach of driver when the driver is in the normal driving position with seat belts worn. B. Passenger seats and general interior. 1. Reject vehicle if any seat frame is loose or broken. 2. Reject vehicle if any seat frame does not face the front of the bus. 3. Reject vehicle if the seat covering is torn so that the seat base or frame is exposed, or if there are any holes in any part of the seat. 4. Reject vehicle if the seat backs are missing, loose, or damaged. 5. Reject vehicle if the energy-absorbing material on any seat back is missing in an area more than 3 square inches and more than 1/4 inch deep. 6. Reject vehicle if any safety belts, if originally so equipped, are missing, have torn or frayed webbing, and are not securely mounted, or if the buckle is inoperable. 7. Reject vehicle if any seat that does not comply with FMVSS 210 has been equipped with a safety belt. 8. Reject vehicle if any child restraint systems are not properly installed per OEM instructions. 9. Reject vehicle if any safety seatbelts are installed on other than a manufacturer-certified seatbelt ready seat frame. Reference Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard 210. 10. Reject vehicle if any installed child safety restraint system does not have a registration and use instruction tag/label or is not installed per OEM instructions, in accordance with Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard 213. C. Floor. Reject vehicle if the floor is buckled, rusted, or rotted to the point of causing a hazard or allowing exhaust gases to enter the passenger compartment. 2. Reject vehicle if the floor covering or trim is cracked, curled, worn, not sealed, otherwise known as waterproof, at the seams, or presents a tripping hazard. 3. Reject vehicle if the subfloor is not at least 5/8 inch plywood, except type A, which may be 1/2 inch plywood. 4. Reject vehicle if a hole in the floor is not sealed, i.e. airline or bolt holes that are not in use. 5. Interior equipment and accessories. A. General interior. 1. Reject vehicle if there are loose objects, decals, magnets, or pictures in driver and passenger compartment. 2. Reject vehicle if hooks or other aftermarket accessories have been added that could cause a head impact injury to bus occupants in a collision. 3. Reject vehicle if the compartment's stanchions are loose or support bolts are missing, or if they were installed contrary to the FMVSS in effect at the time of manufacture. 4. Reject vehicle if any guardrails are loose or support bolts are missing. 5. Reject vehicle if either the service entrance handrail is missing or loose, or if it fails the nut drawstring test, or if the handrail is not in compliance due to a manufacturer's recall. 6. Reject vehicle if any interior metal is torn or corroded so as to create a hazard. 7. Reject vehicle if the retaining barrier is missing or not within 24 inches of clear space in front of seat. 8. Reject vehicle if there are any unsecured objects in the interior of the bus. Examples: brooms, trash cans, or chalk blocks. 9. Reject vehicle if head impact padding above service door is damaged, missing, or altered. B. Interior equipment. 1. Windshield defroster. A. Reject vehicle if the fan fails to operate. B. Reject the vehicle if there is no airflow. C. Reject vehicle if there is no defrost heat or temperature control. 2. Interior heaters. A. Reject vehicle if the fan fails to function properly. B. Reject vehicle if the interior heater fails to function properly. 3. Dash instruments and indicators. A. Reject vehicle if the horn activating mechanism has been altered from OEM design, the button position is not identified, or if the device does not function as intended. B. Reject vehicle if the horn is not clearly audible or does not operate. C. Reject vehicle if the speedometer fails to operate. D. Reject vehicle if the brake warning indicator, ABS indicator, high beam indicator, turn signal indicators, or hazard indicator lamps fail to operate. E. Reject vehicle if any of the following gauges or indicators are present but fail to operate: water temperature gauge, oil temperature gauge, ammeter, fuel gauge, vacuum gauge, or air pressure gauge. C. Other interior accessories. 1. Fire extinguisher. A. Reject vehicle if the fire extinguisher is missing or damaged. B. Reject vehicle if accessibility to the fire extinguisher is obstructed. C. Reject vehicle if the fire extinguisher rating is less than 10 BC and at least 5 pounds. D. Reject vehicle if the mount is not secured, if the extinguisher is not in a quick release holder, or if it is not labeled appropriately in the driver's area. There must be at least one fire extinguisher in the driver's area. E. Reject vehicle if the fire extinguisher is equipped with a seal and the seal is broken or not in place. F. Reject vehicle if the fire extinguisher is equipped with a gauge and the charge reading is less than the minimum indicates recharge or is out of normal range. G. Reject vehicle if the extinguishers is not fire marshal or underwriter's lab approved and labeled, if it has no nameplate or instructions, or does not have current annual certified agency inspection tag showing date of inspection and initialed by a school employee every 30 days. H. Reject vehicle if any extinguisher, when inverted, the power cannot be felt shifting freely. I. Reject vehicle if nozzle is deteriorated, clogged, or corroded to the point of affecting the normal operation of the extinguisher. 2. hazard warning kit. A. Reject vehicle if the hazard warning kit is missing or the container is not secured, the kit does not contain 3 reflectors, or if the kit does not have advanced warning triangles with stands that are at least 7 inches high with sides 17 to 22 inches long. The reflectors or electronic lanterns. B. Reject vehicle if it does not have 2 chalk blocks, or if the chalk blocks are not secured. 3. First aid and biohazard kits. A. Reject vehicle if either the first aid or biohazard kit is missing. B. Reject vehicle if the first aid or biohazard kit is not secured or its location is not labeled in view of the driver. Thank you for listening. There will be cards shown on the screen now to either take you to the next video in the sequence as we look through the inspection manual, or a separate one for the entire playlist for the current edition of the inspection manual. Thank you for listening.